7-yard line. That's a great call. Play fake. Plummer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Pull. Touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Another. Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure. On this team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon comes in. Welcome to 2025. Today. This one the other way. Still going back. That's the drag. Walks up and down.
Edwards pulls off and buries it.
Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.
Takes his shot for Darby. Flag out. What is up, my peeps? Welcome into, yes, wonderful Thirsty Thursdays edition of Pitchfork Lunch. I am Michael Caratino at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. You know it, you love it. At Diablo005_ on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. You guys know it, you love it. It is all here. What is up, Emily? How are you doing, Emily? Yes. Go Devils. Absolutely. We love it. And Emily, you're going to want to stick around because in a very, very short amount of time, we will be talking to Sun Devil defensive tackle CJ Fite. But yes, I digress. I am Michael Caratino at Diablo005 on. Yes, what's up, Low Tone? It is a great day to be a Sun Devil. You guys need to stick around because CJ Fite's coming up. But yes, at Diablo005_ on X, artistly known as the Twitter. Also, my IG, Michael.Caratino.5. The YouTube channel, guys, you want to watch live, but you want to subscribe because guess what? You have missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews. And if you're not watching live yet, I mean, again, forks up A to the new subscribers, B to everybody watching. Or I guess A, everybody watching, B, the new subscribers. Either way, A1, whatever you want to say. However we say it, but onward and upward, right? So, yes, go to YouTube because, again, you have missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews, and we're about to have another one with a great friend of the program, dominant Sun Devil tackle CJ Fite. That is coming up very shortly. But yes, go to YouTube, subscribe because, like I say, I'm happy you're here for you newcomers, but you regular watchers know what I'm going to say. Forks up to you for being here, and but again, shame on you. Where have you been? Yes, the draft. Very, very, very excited for tonight. And a guy that will be getting drafted next year is CJ Fite, again, joining us. So you might want to stick around that for a little time. But I know, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you can't. But it's going to be a very, very exciting night. So, but yes, go to YouTube, binge watch season 1, keep watching season 3, binge watch season 2, keep watching season 3. And then by the time you finish up, you'll be all ready to roll into season 4. Got some good stuff with Camp T, we'll see. Hopefully we get to sit down with CJ there, but I'm going to, during the interview, I'll talk to him about it. You guys, you'll see what I'm talking about. Yeah, so again, don't be bashful. Go to YouTube, watch live, but subscribe to the channel. You know how to get there. And my page, you see my name, Michael Caratino, but it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube, guys. And subscribe, because again, you're not going to want to. You are not going to want to miss out. Again, you got a lot to catch up on, like I said, but you definitely should. Subscribe. But yes, because like I said, whether it be coaches, players, voices, insiders, alum, they have all been here. They're a lot of friends of the program. It is, again, just absolutely awesome. So in honor of, it is, again, the alum from different generations, go to YouTube and subscribe again. It's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005. It is all here. And again, we're going to add another one to that today. As like I said, we talked to Sun Devil, awesome, phenomenal defensive tackle CJ Fite. So again, you're going to want to, you're not going to want to miss that. So yeah, baseball last night, guys. I'll start with that real quick. An 11-inning game. Another, not one, but 2 home runs from Landon Harrison, who now has 25 on the season, my friends. Dominic Smaldino hit a home run last night as well. But New Mexico State, who, again, hasn't been that, is, a little bit below 500. But again, they coach, well, we'll hear from Coach Bloomquist too, but after we hear from CJ. But yeah, I mean, it was a tough one. It was a tough one for the Devils to, you get down, but you fight back. You get the tying run. You tie it up in the bottom of the 9th to force extras. New Contradas is again, like inches away from tying it up in the 11th with a 2-run homer, and ends up the center fielder can't make the play. It hits off the wall. But yeah, 10-9 was the final. New Mexico State gets the win. Offensively, I think it seemed like they had a good attacking. Like Coach Bloomquist says this. That's the only thing I will tell you from his sound, because why would I play it if I'm going to repeat it, if I'm going to give it to you? But, they had a good few days of practice, and he said he thought, it's a midweek game, but it's – and, again, it's not like they waited to score runs late. They gave up a few early, but they also got runs early. So that was tough. But, and Austin Musso started, the freshman, and just, didn't have his stuff. And, you'll hear Coach talk about that. Didn't fully have his stuff. But Jaden Alba came in longer relief, pitched very, very well. A few base runners, but, I think he had 8 Ks and 2 walks. 8 Ks and 1 walk in his. I think he went 4 2/3. Yeah, it was 4 2/3. So yeah, look, this team has a talent. This team is there. They're now 28-14. But yeah, it's quite interesting. And softball, as we transition, getting ready for Texas Tech, women's lacrosse. Softball getting ready for number 2 Texas Tech. Huge series. We were out at softball yesterday. Heard from Coach live on the show. Talked to Brooklyn Ulrich. Talked with Tanya Wendell, obviously local product, and both Brooklyn Ulrich as well, who transferred back here from Marshall. So yeah, just absolutely awesome, my friends. Absolutely awesome with softball. Huge matchup against Texas Tech this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So get on out to Farrington. Saturday, look, the game's at 2 p.m. Tomorrow night, you'd have to make a decision. You want to go to baseball against Baylor, softball against Texas Tech. But Saturday, softball's at 2. Baseball's at 6:35, guys. No excuse. And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately. They're playing, which is awesome. But lacrosse is on the road at Colorado. So women's lacrosse on the road at Colorado. So that's what you got going on in the Sun Devil Nation. But yeah, Saturday you could go to the softball game and then at Farrington, and then just kind of hop on over to Muni, go to the baseball game. Somebody might be doing that. I don't know, but yeah. So that's what's coming up this weekend there. We'll hear from Coach Bloomquist, but we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, CJ Fite, Sun Devil defensive tackle, joining us here on a Pitchfork Lunch. So do not go too far. Again, we'll get to a lot. Yes, we'll talk spring ball, but this young man, again, involved in so many great stuff. Just like Coach Dillingham said, you've heard him say it, couldn't design a better person to be the face of your program. And again, always catching up with CJ is always great. I know, as Pitchfork Lunchers, Tank might come into the conversation, his dog at home, but we also got breaking news on a new dog. So just saying, Tank can't feel, CJ, Mr. Fite broke it on here, but I don't know. We'll probably get to that too, but we'll step aside real quick and we will have more Pitchfork Lunch with CJ Fite coming right up. All right, guys, we are back here on Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, so you know I am Michael Kirtanudo at Diablo00 _5_ on X, formerly known as Twitter. Check out the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. My IG, Michael.Kirtanudo.5. The YouTube channel, which you know you need to subscribe to because you have missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews as we have here on Pitchfork Lunch. And if you're subscribed on YouTube, forks up, thank you. But you missed this live, and you're definitely going to want to see it because joining me now, yes, is the defensive tackle, the all everything. I can't even. I mean, I guess I could try and imitate Jason Kelsey and his phenomenal intros on New Heights with his brother. But this young man has been phenomenal and obviously a fan favorite here on Pitchfork Lunch, as you guys know. CJ Fite joining me after spring ball wraps up. CJ, man, thanks for taking the time again, my friend. It is, like I said, it's always awesome to catch up with you. And of course, your dad was here for spring ball. 2 visits from dad. And you know I'm going to start with this, CJ. As always, it's awesome to have you on, but more visits from dad. Always great catching up. Obviously, for you getting to see him too, but still no Tank, man. Still no Tank.
Still no Tank. I had to get my own dog because they wouldn't bring Tank out here. So,
all right, I want to start with that because I had your dad on the show, and you know I showed. Of course, I showed. You know, like you'll be able to see here in a second because he sent me this. So he fires my fuel, I think, just to poke at me. Your dad's got a good sense of humor, CJ, because, of course, he sends me this, you know?
Yeah.
So, and that was a while ago, but he was on the show. And, I was going to get that, but we'll start with that, you know, because we have fun here on Pitchfork Lunch. But he's like, and then he sends me a picture. He goes, I think Tank's going to be pretty upset. CJ got his own dog. And he sends me a picture of you holding the dog. And he tries to say Tank's going to be upset. And I'm like, I go, Mr. Fite, I'm not trying to, you know, argue with you. But I go, you kind of, CJ got neglected at Tank. I mean, you're happy he's here at Arizona State. And, you know, so defend yourself there, CJ.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying for a little minute. Was it going on 3 to 4 years now, trying to get Tank out here? My parents been out here a few times. Tank hasn't. So I just went ahead and got my own dog so I can feel my own companion from him.
Exactly. See, and of course, come on. I mean, I'm sure, you know, dogs, as you know, can be fickle. I'm sure maybe Tank would give you, you know, when you go back home, I'm sure he's happy to see you, but I'm sure your dad's probably messing with him a little bit saying, oh, CJ got a new friend. So Tank might give you the silent treatment for a few minutes, but he's going to come back and jump in your lap.
He's going to give me the sniff down for sure when I walk in. He's going to sniff me for sure. I'm already knowing.
Man, that's awesome. You know, like I said, it always is great to catch up. Like I said, with your dad, and actually, when I think it was last spring ball. I don't know when your mom was out here too. But like I said, it's always great catching up with them. And man, talk about that because your dad always talks about, and you've talked about. I mean, how you know focused you got to be and be a leader, and becoming a leader on this team. I think I sent you a message, and I remember I sent it to your dad too. Just had a little chuckle because Coach Dillingham, obviously, always speaking very highly of you, being on the Pat Tillman Leadership Council as you were and or are. But man, when you hear Coach Dillingham and stuff like say talk about you saying there's not a better player than CJ Fite, and he used to just come in and quiet leader. He'd come in, he'd lift his 500 pounds, and he'd just go on his way and be happy with it. I go, that is a great mic drop statement from Coach Dillingham. But everybody leads in different ways. But when you hear that from Coach Dillingham and the praise you've gotten from Coach Reynolds and Coach Amy, and just even like when I talked to you, when Coach Regal was around, just saying how great your family is. What does that mean to you as a player?
I mean, it means a lot. I mean, because you can be a great player all you want, but if that's all you can do, then they're going to find somebody else who can do better. And at the end of the day, I just want to be able to help the team as much as I can, be able to give glory to God as much as I can. So he's given me so many abilities to do certain things. So it would be like I would be doing a disservice if I didn't use my best ability or if I didn't get everything I could while I'm in the situation. So I'm just trying to be able to help the team and be able to continue to grow through these 4 years. This is my last year here, and I felt so much growth from when I first got here. I mean, the coaching staff, they've helped me grow so much as a man. So I appreciate them, and that's just like a testament to I guess how we do things here. For real.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And people and Coach Dillingham said, I mean, all coaches say, people can lead in different ways. And like Coach Dillingham said, you're not, a rah-rah guy. But I say that because leading the Bible study, and then you become part of the players, the athletes, like the Big 12 Council,
Mm.
and then what else? I had so many notes, but I mean, the stuff you become, like become a part of like you said, the Big 12, the athletes, obviously having a voice and working with schools on with whatever it is, making sure facilities, revenue, like all this stuff, but. To engulf yourself in more of that, on top of already getting your degree, on top of playing football, like how has that helped you grow? And I mean, what are some of the things you're doing, like with that Big 12, being one of the players, one of the athletes, I should say, on that council?
Yeah, I mean, we meet once a month. Yeah, we went once at the beginning of each month, and we just talk about things going on in college football. I mean, at first I was in one. I was like just with the Big 12. Now I've moved to there's one with I'm doing with the NCAA. So it's like Power Four schools, FCS, FBS, just like schools over the NCAA, and just talking like things going on in football, how we feel about them, just kind of our take and like kind of giving they kind of gave us a voice. So it's just having the opportunities. It's a blessing for sure. It's so I mean a lot of things go on. Sometimes just feel like it's out of your hands. So at this point, I feel like I have a voice, and I feel like I can make a difference. I mean, I'm one of many, so it's just like opportunities like that don't always come. So it's just taking it and being appreciative with it and be able to use it to the best of your abilities.
And when you say that too, I thought of this when you first got on, and you were telling me about it, like you're saying, talking to many. I always go back to that old adage, oh well, if there's too many hands in the cookie jar, it could be a problem. But to me, this is the absolute opposite, because I mean, you just said like Big 12 and NCAA and FCS, like. How do you feel that you help other athletes getting to talk to them, but also how do you feel that you're able to help them too? Like they can help you, because it's just everybody's in a different situation, different level, different things. But how much do you feel that helps you and just overall the growth of what college sports should be?
I mean, as you do certain things outside of football, stuff you aren't comfortable with, you just continue to you grow in those uncomfortable situations, and like that's nothing I've done before. I haven't been in a situation like that before, so to be able to do that, you just kind of have something else in your belt that you can kind of got through, and be like, okay, I accomplished this, and I'm doing this, and I'm thriving in this. So you just kind of build some confidence out while doing so, and you get some knowledge while you're at it too. I've learned so much in those meetings, and yeah, so being in those situations, you really have no choice but to grow.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I always had well, playing for my uncle when I grew up, but just different coaches, like saying things about players, like not just like going, like having to say it to like where they feel like, oh, I gotta like stroke their ego, but when coaches feel a certain way about you. But what about like teammates? Because obviously NFL draft starts today, and I know you obviously said um, before, like earlier, that you're stoked for your guys, want to see where they go. And Coach Dillingham saying they weren't even maybe ranked, coming out of high school, but these guys can get drafted. And personally, me, CJ, Homer show or not, but seeing what those guys did and seeing how much they grew, like those are all first round. Those like Jordan, Keith, Max, Keyshawn, they're first round picks to me. But I get it. I'm a homer, but like you, I saw what they did. But when it comes from players, and I mentioned Jordan because obviously, he started, found his relationship with God, and he said you were a big part of that. He credited you, and I mean, quite a few of the other guys as well too. But just to you lead that, and again, it's not about forcing people, but it's just so they understand. But when you get that kind of praise from somebody like a Jordan, other teammates like that, what does that mean to you as a player?
I mean, it means a lot, obviously, because life's more than football. And as Christians, we're called to do certain things. We're called to call people to Christ. So I'm not gonna say I'm responsible for it. I'm just a vessel for God. I'm just here, just living the life God would want me to, the best way I can. Obviously, I know I mess up, but I do the best I can. And so yeah, it's just doing what I can, and then letting the Holy Spirit like does it do his job. So yeah, I mean, he's grown so much just from. I mean, he's not the one. There's a lot of guys on the team, but we're talking about JT. From JT first got here to where he's at now, he's grown so much as a person, as a player, and in his faith so much that it's inspired me as well. So yeah, it's just been be around like-minded guys and be able to grow from each other, and I think that's a good situation to be in.
Speaking of good situations, and I know you and I mean, we kind of touched on this before, but I mean, coming back, had a chance, like Coach Dillingham was saying, to be in the draft yourself right now, but to come back and then, to stay at ASU. And yeah, the transfer portal's there. And yeah, some player situations, it's good that they can improve. But you just, when you made your decision, like not going to the NFL, but not another, you see so many guys that are in the transfer portal. What made that right for you? And I mean, and again, I'm not, and you know me, I'm not talking bad about any other player that enters the portal, but, staying loyal. I mean, I've talked to some alum and they're like, yeah, it's like you want to get to know these guys and you want the best for them, but it's tough to get to know them. But you deciding to stay here and see it through, like, what does that mean to you? And just what kind of other feedback have you gotten from, maybe teammates, few like potential Keith, Max, Keyshawn, they're first round picks to me, but
so yeah, it's just doing what I can and then letting the Holy Spirit do it. Does it like
because obviously he started found his relationship with God, and he said you were a big part of that. He credited you, and I mean quite a few of the other guys as well too. But just to you lead that, and again, it's not about forcing people, but it's just so they understand. But when you get that kind of praise from somebody like a Jordan, other teammates like that, what does that mean to you as a player?
I mean, it means a lot, obviously, because life's more than football. And as Christians, we're called to do certain things. We're called to call people to Christ. So I'm not gonna say I'm responsible for it. I'm just a vessel for God. I'm just here, just living the life God would want me to, the best way I can. Obviously, I know I mess up, but I do the best I can. And so yeah, it's just doing what I can and then letting the Holy Spirit do it. Does it do his job? So yeah, I mean, he's grown so much just from. I mean, he's not the only. There's a lot of guys on the team, but we're talking about JT. From JT first got here to where he's at now, he's grown so much as a person, as a player, and in his faith so much that it's inspired me as well. So yeah, we've just been be around like-minded guys and be able to grow from each other, and I think that's a good situation to be in.
Speaking of good situations, and I know you and I mean, we kind of touched on this before, but I mean, coming back, had a chance, like Coach Dillingham was saying, to be in the draft yourself right now, but to come back and then, to stay at ASU. And yeah, the transfer portal's there. And yeah, some player situations, it's good that they can improve. But you just, when you made your decision, like not going to the NFL, but not another, you see so many guys that are in the transfer portal. What made that right for you? And I mean, and again, I'm not, and you know me, I'm not talking bad about any other player that enters the portal, but, staying loyal. I mean, I've talked to some alum and they're like, yeah, it's like you want to get to know these guys and you want the best for them, but it's tough to get to know them. But you deciding to stay here and see it through, like, what does that mean to you? And just what kind of other feedback have you gotten from, maybe teammates, few like potential recruits and just maybe even the fans and community around for like, hey, I'm not going in the draft, but I'm staying here at ASU.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's here. I have love for everybody here. I've been here going on my fourth year, so you build certain bonds from people. Like the coaching staff is pretty much the same coaching staff that have been here from when I first got here. And then the guys, there's still some guys on the team, then learning the new guys on the team. It's just like a different, like it's different here. And I realized that other people have realized that as well. So I think like it's truly a family feel here. So like I wouldn't up and leave my family back home. Like I wouldn't, I'm in Arizona, but like as in like like really leaving the family, I wouldn't like cut the family off and just leave. So like, yeah, it's no disrespect to any of the guys who have, but I just felt like it was the best decision for me. And everybody has different decisions that they feel is best for them. And even with those guys, like it's still love for all of them. They're still family. Everybody has left. Like some of the guys got like backlash for leaving, but everybody in here is still all love for them, and nobody's had bad feelings for anybody that's left because at the end of the day, it's business, and sometimes you just got to do what's best for you. So I feel like this is what's best for me to stay here. I'm happy here. I've grown so much here, so I feel like I can continue to grow And since I've been here, I've found so many reasons why I made the right decision to stay. I feel like uh, God called me to come back, and He's been blessing me every day since.
That's awesome. And you talk about that, and you live it because we've talked about in the past. I mean, obviously, Coach Dillingham's first year, 3-9, and then the Big 12 championship. But Coach Van Neal comes in volleyball, and just the winning, the electricity, not just winning, yes, but the electricity around campus. But you like going out to those other sports. And I know I asked you before about if you can feel the electricity, but how cool is it to go out to, I mean, I've bumped into you at water polo. You've been out to obviously volleyball and you guys have made trips out to, baseball and softball and, just to get out to those. But how awesome is it when it, like you said, you've been there, when it was tough and, maybe not as much electricity, but just to see kind of, campus, as much as you're on it, but just even in the athletic department, the electricity changed, and just how big is it to go to those other sports and just show your support for them?
Yeah, I mean, it's really it's two things. I like sports. I just like being around sports, and then I like showing support to people who support us. I mean, most people games we go to, they've probably been in our games, so it's just like paying back, like just showing support to them as well. I mean, yeah, so it's yeah, just get to watch sports, you get to support people, and then it's you can't expect people to activate the valley if you're not activating yourself. So it's as you get around, the other people may get around as well. So you can't expect anything as you want to do yourself. So just get around the other sports, just building a community. I think as athletes around here or just in general, it's common to stick together and just to be around each other. So whether they notice it or not, we're there, and yeah, so it's fun to see to go to games. They're just fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean the some of the things that you said, like cross sports, I know for some big volleyball matches, you've been there, and the swim team has come out, and when the visiting team is facing where they're sitting above the tunnel, they're just sitting there, and the guys are sitting there. So you know what? I'm you're oh my God, and even I've talked to some of the volleyball players, and they're yeah, you try not to look back and you're focused, but you kind of you're what is going on up there? But just the stuff like that, and even the wall of distraction for basketball and different things like I said, for you to be a part of that's awesome. But okay, talk about being a part of it. Obviously this is the second year the whole team was out for the Tillman kids run, and I know I was teasing you. I kind of told people on the show I was going to talk to you about. I teased it a little bit, but man, you're usually a bunch of guys out there starting, but you were at the finish line high fiving, and I know I was kidding around with you on FanFest Day. You didn't have any kids kind of turn around and think that you were going to sack him, did they? Did they run back to the parents wait, he's going to stop me?
I think I had one or two that were kind of scared when I was over there. I was trying to look as nice as possible. I tried to have the biggest smile so they weren't scared. Some of them were happy, and some of them, they turned and went to their parents to try to avoid me. But it's all love at the end of the day. It was fun. I enjoyed doing those for sure.
I was going to say real quick, sorry if you did that. Their parents educated them. They know number 99 might not have a ton of sacks, but he stuffs the run. He sends those double teams back, and they're wait, I'm not that big yet.
It's funny.
But and I know we touched on it last time you're on, but being a part of the Pats run, to the Tillman Fountain, the Leadership Council, and like I said, every year it's great to see, especially when I'm there, little kids taking their picture, even at FanFest, by it, and the parents again keeping that spirit and tradition of Pat Tillman going, but because obviously little kids who's Pat Tillman, but when you see that, and when these kids are talking to you and they're saying, oh, I want to play football or this or that, or they're big fans of yours. I mean, obviously I get it's cool, but what are those interactions like? And and getting to obviously pass on who and what Pat Tillman, who he was and what he stood for. But how cool is that just to interact with the kids and get to talk to them about that?
Oh yeah, it's for sure cool. It's for sure fun, and if you want to talk about legacy, the legacy he's left is crazy. Just to even think about when I was walking around and you see all the people at the Pat Tillman run, it's just crazy that that's that every year, and it may be more in years to come. So it's crazy just to think about what he's left, and then to be able to, I guess, to pass it on and educate other people. I didn't have the knowledge, most knowledge of it when I first got here as well. But as we got here, Coach Amy and some of the other people
Right.
talked to us and gave us the education and told us like who he was and what he was about, and like it just gives you a different look on and a different perspective on like life, and life is just football, but just life and how to go about certain things. So to be able to be around the kids and be able to show them and give them something to look up to is a blessing.
Well, and you mentioned Coach Amy. And let's get to football. I mean, obviously, I know. Okay, here's what I got to ask you: spring ball. I mean, a lot of new faces, but even on the D line. But man, did you go talk to Coach Mons? Because I know they're not, probably coming down trying to block you a lot. But CJ, you guys got a tight end room full of power forwards, man. I mean, that's a bad thing to have. I mean, they're on your team, but have you had to go against any of those big guys? Not that you can't handle it, those big guys in blocking, and did they maybe shock you a little bit with how physical they were?
No, I'm watching tape. We do have some physical tight ends. We got some tight ends that can move people off the ball. So that's a good thing to see. I know once it comes season time, it's going to be the other team that they're moving, so it's going to be a lot more fun. But the D ends and the tight ends, they're at it every day. It gets chippy in there just because neither one of them want to lose. And then the D line, like our Coach Reynolds and Coach Amy say, the D ends never supposed to lose to a tight end. And then Coach Mons tells us tight ends that the tight ends never supposed to lose to a D end. So it was just back and forth. And yeah, it's good competition, but we have some guys in that room for sure.
And speaking of like good competition, when you talk about it, obviously, like you said, like new guys on the defense, but getting to work, like seeing like obviously what with the DNs, you guys working as a unit. But man, you mentioned Coach Amy and Coach Reynolds, and I mean, you talk about like the type of coach they are. And again, like Coach Amy, to me, I would find, and again, not me personally, but I would find it kind of hard because man, he's got a good sense of humor. He's always kind of messing around. When he's coaching you guys, he's like getting on you. Is it almost like kind of a little, again, not that he's like in your face being, just this crazed coach, but like, when he says you kind of turn around a little bit of shock because it's like, wait, where's the joke, coach? Like, you just got that spirit about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's passionate. So it's like, we've been around him long enough. We know what kind of coach he is. Like, if you're doing what you're supposed to, then it's light. Like he'll keep it light. He'll make those jokes. He's always having somebody's laughing. He's a great sense of humor. Everybody's laughing at everything he says. But he's, like I say, he's passionate. So if you don't pay the game respect or give as much as you can or work as hard as you can, and that's when he kind of feels that disrespect, I would say, and like he lets it out. He lets you know what it is. He just pushes you. He's going to push you and make you better. So if you don't do it for yourself, he'll do it for you. So yeah.
And he does have some good jokes. I will say that it's nice when we're at practice and he just kind of spits it out there because I'm like, you're trying to get me to concentrate as a D tackle, and then you crack that joke. It's like, okay, maybe this next rep's not going to be as solid as I want. But last time you were on, it was we talked about like Coach Reynolds and like his style, and obviously just very matter of fact point. But like, is he kind of? I didn't ask you this. Is he kind of sneaky funny? Does he have some like little good zingers? Like if he sees something on tape, maybe like you said, it's not for film. It's not going your guys' way. Maybe he'll kind of have like a little zinger that you guys wouldn't expect to see. Is he sneaky funny? Is what I want to know, CJ.
No, he is. He is for sure. He'll say certain things in a meeting that it'll catch you off guard, and then like at this point you kind of like, because at first nobody really knew his sense of humor. And then as you got used to it, you was like, okay, nah, he is funny. So like it was just different because him and Coach Amy have so different sense of humor. But like that's why our room, and all the guys in there are funny as well. So the room, I think every year I've been here, the room's been like it's been hilarious. Like every day you're laughing, everybody's joking, and like it's fun. It's not always so serious. Like we know the difference between when it's time to play and when it's time to be serious. So I think having that balance is good. It makes every day fun.
Yeah, because if sports has evolved, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, obviously, right there. Like, yeah, I mean, of course you're going to be locked in and you want to be locked in and focused. But, the best coaches I even had when I was younger in different sports, EJ, it was always like, you kind of need that separation because yes, they're going to be prepared, but if it's not fun, you might get like a quarter of the way through, a game or whatever practice, and you're just like, this is ridiculous. Like, the motivation's not there. So that's, but yeah, no, Coach Reynolds has some, has like you can tell the disciplinary in him, but I thought the singers might be there. So I'm glad you shared that with us here on Pitchfork Lunch. And speaking of that, obviously Clayton, I know I played it here. You said it was weird seeing him obviously on the offensive side of the ball, but I mean, just him doing that. Obviously, he had a year that he didn't do any. Obviously they said he didn't do anything at Oklahoma, so he could have went to the draft, but he comes back. But man, when you're first seeing him on offense at receiver, you're like, are you kidding me? I mean, you athletically look. He tells everybody, and I know from the time anybody walks in, like, yeah, I played offense, I can do this, but I mean, what was that like just to see him over there and like probably talking a little trash back and forth with the DBs?
Yeah, I mean, so before practice started, I guess when he just got back a few days, he was like, "Hey, CJ, don't tell nobody, but I'm about to go to offense." And then I'm like, "Nah." He's like, I was just like, because he been saying he's gonna go play receiver. So I'm like, "Why are you like you just chatting? Like you're not gonna go play offense." And then spring ball came. When we walked in, we had our first walkthrough, and he had a maroon jersey. So I'm like, "Oh, you for real?" So then we went to practice, and he was actually like practicing with the receivers, and he would always just try to step into our meetings or step into our huddles and stuff like that. And then we're like, "Nah, like you're a receiver now. You can't be up here." But now he's back, so now we accept him again. He's a rushman again. So yeah, we accept him with open arms.
That's awesome. You're like, sorry, man. This is a defensive table. You got to go sit with the
100%.
offense now. And talking about, I mean, we mentioned before, but I mean, a lot of new faces, and like you said, I mean, your fourth year in the, going to the fourth year in this system, obviously defensively with, what Coach Ward wants to do, and we talked about before understanding the why, but like the new guys that came in, and I mean, obviously you're back and. I mean, like you said, Clayton came back, but you have, also, I mean, I know Albert Smith is back, and then was a Roman Petrie's also back too. But I mean, a lot of like new guys there. I guess the fun of that is like getting to know them, obviously, on the field, but off the field too. But just getting them ready with this defense. What's it been like working with this guys, and what did you like from spring ball?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's always fun to see how the guys gel together each year. And I think this year we gelled pretty fast, and everybody's pretty close in that room now. And it happens so quick. It's cool to see, just because we kind of lost like what it looks like to build new relationships like that without being new people, just because we were with the same group for so long.
Right.
So it was more new faces than we've ever been around before. Since that first year we were here. So yeah, it was cool just to see the guys and build the new connections, and it's also cool to see that we got good football players as well. So it's like in that room, we have so much depth in that room. We're so deep in that room, and it's just like every week, like it's probably gonna be a toss up, going to game times and to the games, to who's starting and things like that. So yeah, we got a lot of guys. It's cool to see where we're headed. I just think we have a special group.
And you mentioned that, and I was talking to Coach Reynolds. I mean, for these freshmen that are in that, still should, be chilling out in high school, hanging out, getting ready to, finish up, go to prom, whatever. But man, I was talking to him a little bit about Julian Hugo, and man, again, like you said, there's a lot of good guys, and I'm not just like singling him out because spring ball, like you said, it is development, but like watching, certain guys, but Julian, I mean, as a freshman, man, what do you see in him, and how fun has it been to work with him?
He's a ball player. I think a lot of stuff comes so natural to him. I think that's his biggest thing. He's just a natural football player. He feels certain things. Obviously, there's a lot to grow on just because he hasn't played a lot of football. But like for the most part, he's just a ball player. At a certain point, all the other stuff comes. All the other stuff is gonna come. Like if you can play football, you can play football. If the game's slow down for you, then then like you're gonna have success wherever you're at. So I think yeah, he's one of those guys that came in, and if you just look at him, you wouldn't know he's a freshman just by the way he plays. When he puts the jersey and helmet on, like he's just he's just a ball player. And Coach Dilly always says, I don't care how old you are, and if you're supposed to be in high school or what grade you're in, if you can play, you can play. It's even playing fields once you're on a football field. So yeah, if he continues to grow, he's going to continue to flourish here. So yeah, he's a special player for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's funny because you defensive linemen are always, and I say it's almost like watching a cartoon drilling. Not that you want to hurt your own players, but getting sacks in practice, and you can always hear the mouths going to the quarterback, like, yeah, that pass wasn't getting off, and
Yeah.
obviously you don't want to hit your own quarterback, but he got back there a few times, and I was like, and the whistle blew, and I there was a few times I don't remember who was in the quarterback, but it's different quarterbacks that kind of turned their head like, oh, come on, and he looked back at them, the quarterback, and he's like, come on, man. Like, you weren't going anywhere, but no, I mean, it's awesome that and like you said, like, it's just, I love how Coach Dillingham says that because, and even in the portal, everybody's like, oh, so-and-so, other pro, so-and-so is going to start. Like, if you're not competing, I mean, coach tells you what you're going to get. And that's what I always said. Like, people talk about transparency, but you can just see it because you play. I mean, you've said the same thing since you've been here. Like, yeah, you're going to compete, and if somebody beats you out, they beat you out.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this: when you get so now obviously spring ball's over, getting ready to go to fall camp. So what is like I said to you last time, I hate to use the word off season, but what is the pseudo off season look like for you?
Like going to summer workouts?
Yeah, are you going home for a little bit, or what you got? Anything like with, summer workouts?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out when I can go home right now, because I got class and like group projects and stuff. So I'm trying to figure out the time with that. But I want to go to Texas and train for a little bit, and then go back home for Mother's Day, and I have a camp the end of that week for like for the kids back home, and then I'll be back out here. So then it's good time to go for real. But yes, I don't plan on doing too much. I want to do just like a little bit of rest, a little bit of make sure my body's good. Not trying to go crazy, but I still don't want to come back feeling like I'm behind. So yeah, I'm trying to find a good balance between both.
See, that's why I asked you that. I knew I was forgetting at the camp. I was going to be like, so camp coach CJ might be a little tougher on those campers. They might not be ready for some of CJ's your coaching styles, right?
Nah, I'm just trying to just have the kids have some fun. As long as they have some fun, it's cool. I was just gonna be some coaching going on. I'm gonna try to get something out of it, but as long as they have fun, we're good.
Right, exactly. I mean, in any sport, and like we talked about before when you've been on, like in this day and age, I mean, obviously football, everything's become year round. People playing one sport, but go out there, have fun, play multiple sports, and they get to learn from you. So wait, what's your dog's name? I forgot to ask you.
Atlas.
Oh, Atlas. Okay. Well,
Atlas. Yeah.
I think Hank and Atlas will be good friends. Because poor CJ got neglected. It wasn't Hank. I can't fully blame Tank, so I can't blame Tank. But and again, your parents travel a lot to obviously see you and your brother who's at UTSA. How's that going for him? I'm sorry, man. I forgot to ask that part. How's UTSA going for him so far?
He loves it over there. That's just they got a good coaching staff over there. I mean, most of them from East Texas, where we're from, and we knew the head coach from when my sister played club. She played with his daughter, so yeah, we've already we've been on that staff for a good minute now. So going there, he felt familiar. But yeah, he's in a good spot. He's developing. He's getting big. He's 275 now. So yeah, he's up for a good season this year for sure.
Yeah. And when I had your dad on, CJ, I said, look, and I saw he was in the portal. So that's the thing. And I said to your dad, I said, look, I know I can guess what you might say to me. Like, it's got to be the right fit for him. He's going to pray on it. But I said, I just think it'd be cool if he was next to his brother CJ. So then there's no excuse. I go, first of all, like first, second, and third would be phenomenal. Like them next to each other playing. I said, but fourth, then there's no excuse to. I'll do you. CJ? Oops. I think I lost CJ. Let's see if we can get him back. Let's see if we can get him back. I was just going to wrap up. Something's going on. Well, yeah, but I was just going to talk to him. Obviously, like, Tank, but Atlas. Atlas is a very solid name. Very, very solid name. All right. Well, let's see if we can get CJ back on. If not, that's okay. Technology happens, but at least we got through 95% of the interview, or 98%, I should say. I'm just going to wrap up there. But yeah. Oh, there he is. There he is. We got him back. Oh, CJ, man, that was magic trick. You know why? You know why that happened?
I can't hear anything.
Oh, can you hear me now? Let's see. Mike, I hear you. Can you hear me? All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, I was gonna say, you know what? You know why that happened? Because I was just about to say to you, like, it's obviously talking about Atlas and Hank, but the dogs being friends, but you and your brother, but and your dad. That's what I say. He said, well, we'll talk about it. The family will talk, but he's got to pray on it. But he goes, it wouldn't be a bad thing. And I said, yeah, because then you have no excuse not to bring Tank to a game. Because I go, you, your wife, I go, obviously both CJ and Trey will be here, and I go, your daughter can come too, so there's no excuse not to bring Tank with you to the game. But no, it's awesome staring you to, like you said, and again, it worked out for him, and that's awesome. Last one getting out of here though. So that's why I say I was about to ask you. So I know last year, obviously, it's over, got to move on, but the tough rivalry loss to that alleged college down south, as I like to call it here on Pitchfork Lunch. My viewers know that. You don't have to say that, but I will. But what I mean, two things. A, the excitement about getting to go play in London, the Union Jack Classic, obviously facing off against Kansas, very cool. But I know it is one game at a time. But how circled and how much have you guys kind of, like, you returners kind of start put the little honey in the ears about that school down south and the rivalry to the new guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think as time goes on, we'll kind of start harping on it more. I think it really hasn't been much of a thought for us right now. We've really been just focusing on ourselves. But I think as time comes and it gets closer, then I guess we'll for sure have a talk and make sure they know the importance of the game and what it means to just everybody around here. So yeah, I mean, it's coming for sure. But right now, we're just focused on getting better for ourselves. As for playing in London, that's it's so cool. I mean, yeah, just to be a part of. I was saying on another little interview that I haven't left the country.
Right.
So this is my first time leaving the country, and then playing football at the same time. So it's like a win-win. But yeah, it's a blessing. It's an experience that not many people get to experience. So yeah, I'm excited for it for sure. Especially, I'm sure other guys are too. But it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I mean, and like you said, obviously getting to go back the week before that too, playing Texas A&M, back obviously in your home state. So yeah, no, when I heard you say that, 'cause that's what I wanted to ask you. It's like, and again, leaving the country, obviously, and and talking to your dad, he's saying, yeah, this is a time of year that's like, busiest for him, obviously being a school administrator and everything. And like, I was like, man, I go, but when I was talking to him about that, he goes, yeah, no, it's cool. Like, hey, and it comes from winning and what you guys have done so far. So I look forward to be in there. And I'm actually trying to recruit a family member, AKA my sister, to be my reporter so she can shoot things. Because she's the one that I told you. Unfortunately, she went to that school down south, but now CJ on May 9th, she actually is going to have a master's degree from an accredited school in ASU because she took another studies class. So I told her I had a little, when she showed me a picture of her acceptance letter, I kind of had a little tear in my eye. I said, "You're finally going to an accredited university." I know how that feels because you got your degree from that. Now you're getting you're working towards your master's, right?
Yes, sir. I'm getting awesome. AI and business. Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Well, hey, look, thank you so much for taking the time. It's fun to catch up, and I hope the next time we can do this, if you're cool with it, it'll be a little cooler. We can actually have a sit down at a Camp T.
Okay, bet.
And maybe you can bring Atlas, and who knows? I've been trying to tell Dad maybe it's cooler. Maybe he brings Tank, and Atlas can hang out. Hey, we can all sit on the show. Your dad said Tank will probably just fall asleep, snore, but I said I don't think we're that boring. I said I don't think we're that boring, but if he does, Tank is the star of the show. I mean, along with you and your dad. I'm just here for directing traffic.
Tank don't care what's going on. He's gonna be asleep regardless.
Hey, like you always say, as a player, be who you are. He knows who he is.
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, look, again, CJ, thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate it. So, yeah, enjoy this a little bit. Have fun with obviously watching the draft tonight. I know obviously you will be, but I'll be pulling for the guys. And like I said, they're all 4 first-rounders, and I might not be an accredited NFL draft analyst, but I know what I'm talking about, CJ. They're all first-rounders.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Hey, CJ, thanks a lot, and we'll catch up soon, man. I appreciate you doing this.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Have a good one.
Oh, look at that. CJ Fite, man. Hey, we're going to step aside, have more Pitchfork Lunch coming right up. There we go. Was that not awesome or what? My Pitchfork Lunchers hanging with CJ Fite again. So gracious of him to take that time. But yeah, again, like I said, we have con reviews here. And yeah, we, of course, talk a little football, but his accomplishments on the field, what he's done. Again, we can get to that. And like you said, up at Camp T, got a great shot there up at Camp T. So that being said, yeah, kind of a mic drop on the show. But yeah, don't forget baseball. Like I said, we'll preview that tomorrow, Tuesday. Got Baylor in town this weekend. Softball has number 2 Texas Tech. We saw that yesterday. Again, awesome catching up with Coach Bartlett, Brooklyn Ulrich. We had on the show, and then Tanya Wendell did the side-by-side with Tanya Wendell. So just a 400 hitter, just a 400 hitter. But yeah, obviously we'll talk a lot of baseball, softball tomorrow. And you don't see surprise guests. We could have a surprise guest on. You're not going to want to go too far for that. But yeah, everything she just said there, again, you can go back, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, you guys know how to get to YouTube. And you see my name, Michael Carrot, with the pages at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. If you're just jumping in, again, glad you jumped into Pitchfork Lunch. But yeah, that'll end it. We are out of here. So I will see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Obviously, many thanks to CJ Fite, Forks Up, again, Sun Devil defensive tackle, taking the time to come on and jump in. So, yeah, I'm still aiming to get Tank on the show. Tank and now Atlas, as they are. Tank and Atlas will be friends, but it looks like Tank will just look over and then go back to bed from what CJ just said. But, yeah, absolutely awesome. So, again, have a phenomenal rest of your Thursday. And, again, thanks to reigning back-to-back Big 12 champs women's volleyball. Again, another sport that CJ's gone out and watched, but also gone out and joined him in practice. Him and Jacob Kongaika. That was phenomenal when they went out to volleyball practice and try to return some serves. Not as easy as it looks, right? And again, not that they said it was, but man, that was awesome to see. So, but yes. Thanks for reigning back-to-back Big 12 champs women's volleyball. It is hashtag our state, school down south. That is for you to remember. I know you try and deny it, but again, you just can't deny the obvious. So I will, again, baseball, softball tomorrow, lacrosse, obviously Saturday too at Colorado. Track and field, the Penn relays. Oh, that's today and tomorrow. So we'll have updates on that. And see how the team's doing. But again, the Penn relay is absolutely phenomenal. So track and field out there. Again, Pitchfork. This is Pitchfork Lunch heaven. All that's going on. Again, lots moving, but we'll be at it again tomorrow. So have a phenomenal rest of your Thursday. I will see you tomorrow. Like I said, same bat time, same bat channel. You guys know it. Go Devils. Again, thank you to CJ Fite. Go Devils. And as always, you guys know this. Forks Up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call. Play fake. Plummer will put it up. Throws over the middle. Pull. Touchdown. Quick flag.
Third down and 5. Levis swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
We're going to chuck this defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.